Guess where I'm going? Antibody test. Hopefully, anyway. So this is a city MD in our area that's been doing antibody tests, and for the last few days there's been a line down the block. I'm going to see what it's like now though and see if I can get tested. Every other chair was marked off like this to ensure social distancing. They took me to a room where I waited, checked out the blood vial they were about to use on me, watched a little food TV, checked out the vial again, and then eventually they took the blood. And that was it. I was out in less than 30 minutes, and I expect to get my results in 3 to 5 days. Now they'll call me if I am positive, and if not, I'll find the results online on a website they pointed me to either way. Now, I wasn't there because I felt sick, or really to get a test for COVID-19 itself. So that means I didn't have to get my rather prodigious nose tested with a swab in that rather terrifying way we've seen depicted so many times. I went to get tested for the presence of antibodies. That tests with a high degree of accuracy whether you've had the virus in the past, even if you didn't experience the symptoms. It checks for any immunoglobulin G or IgG antibodies. Now, antibodies are proteins produced by your immune system when it responds to an infection, and they bear a kind of fingerprint that's unique to that particular virus. Pretty cool, huh? Now, I also didn't get tested because I necessarily thought I had COVID-19 in the past, though it's not impossible. I did have some kind of bug earlier in the year. I went because the more people who get tested, the more data we have. And the more data we have, the more we understand about the prevalence of COVID-19 in New York City, in New York State, in the United States, etc. So when I know what the results are, I'll share them with you then.
4 to 6 days later.
Well, here's the moment of truth. Looks like my results have come in. You see where it says SARS-CoV-ABIgG? That refers to the antibodies for COVID-19. Then the negative value and the negative reference range confirm that I probably haven't had the virus. It's worth noting that we're not sure, however, how long antibodies hang around post-infection. I believe they may even be still confirming whether having the antibodies now means that you're even immune. And these negative antibody results don't necessarily guarantee you're not currently infected. It just means the antibodies weren't detected. That's why the separate swab test for COVID-19 exists. If you're interested in getting this test here in New York City, you can get one at CityMD or probably with your local doctor. I've seen signs in the neighborhood that doctors are conducting them. I hope but can't guarantee that your healthcare will cover it. Apparently, NYC is launching limited free testing beginning next week for 140,000 people in 5 locations initially, but those tests are limited to healthcare workers and first responders. Fair enough. However, if we'd had early, widespread free testing like they did in South Korea, we might not be in this situation. It checks for any It checks for any immunoglobulin.
I wanna develop a super virus, better by far than an OY2K.
It checks for any immunoglobulin.